finally back, and I'm here to do a review that I've wanted to do for a while, which is to review Flash-based horror games. You know, the little games that you would find on sites like Addicting Games, but these are scary. After searching for hours upon hours and playing as much of these games that I could find, I've come to the conclusion that most of them aren't very good. Today I'm reviewing 3 random horror Flash games I found. So let's start off with the game called Purgatorium. Yes, it's always good to start your game off with a deep quote. It makes the player feel like what he's about to play will mean something and be more like a story or experience. Did I mention this game was about 3 minutes long? In Purgatorium, you play some guy who wakes up in a room and isn't sure how he got there. He takes note of how lots of stuff in the room seems familiar to him, but he can't really remember why. Also, while you're in this room, lots of weird stuff happens, like finding a creepy doll, a severed head, and a creepy guy passing by the window. And lots of other stuff too. The point of Purgatorium is to look around the room and find hidden objects that all have a meaning which is given in the end. Or you can skip all of that and just turn off the light with the door. Family slaughter. Police were unable to save a woman and her 8-month-old son from her mentally ill husband, Bill Rydell, today, as he bricked his family into a room and proceeded to mutilate them with a variety of household tools. Authorities arrived on the scene to find the house burning uncontrollably and all 3 members of the family deceased. So the main character was dead the entire time after he killed his family because he was mentally ill. Oh my god. That's so fucking original! I've never heard of anything that's ever been like that before. I congratulate this game on being so original. I mean, it's just brilliant. And oh shit! Guess this game doesn't appreciate my sarcasm. The next game I'm gonna review is called Free Ice Cream, and this picture pretty much sums up what this game is about. That's right, it's about capitalism. Well, not really. It's about 2 girls who get kidnapped by a psychotic man posing as an ice cream man who is selling his substance for free. You control one of the girls and you have to escape. It's sort of similar to Clock Tower, where it's a point-and-click adventure game and there's a psycho who's always chasing you, and you need to hide from him. The psycho came down to investigate a strange noise he heard when the cabinet fell and, like a dumbass, left the door open. So now the girl is out of the basement. Now you see that fuse box back there? Behind the cobwebs, we have to dust the cobwebs away in order to get to that fuse box because the little girl is afraid of spiderwebs. Yeah. You do realize there's a psychotic butcher after you, right? We then see that a cat is lying on the duster that we need for the cobwebs. Ah, bitch. So we then poison that dick of a cat. Now that we're able to get to the fuse box, we can get power to the kitchen. Now that we have power to the kitchen, we can open the door using the keypad code that is on the painting. Now that we've opened the door, you can go into the meat locker, and you find in the meat locker your dead friend. You know, with all this fun I've been having with puzzle solving, that little girl's death is a real buzzkill. A key also dropped out of the bag that your friend was in, so you take that and leave the meat locker. A key? That means that there are more puzzles waiting to be solved! We must find them! Squad along! I am off! You then find another fuse, something that you definitely wouldn't have known unless I had told you. With the fuse, you have to give power to both the living room and 2nd floor, so the elevator works. This was not nearly as intense as I was hoping for. Once you ride up the elevator, you find the exit and the most confusing part of this game, at least what I thought was. Okay, stop here. Now please excuse the crudity of this model. I didn't have time to build it to scale or to paint it. But this is basically the house in Free Ice Cream. This is the basement. You start here, and when the killer leaves the door open, you escape to the 1st floor. Now on the first floor you do a lot of puzzles and find the recently murdered and raped body of Lily, that one little girl. I'm actually not sure if she was actually raped, I just wanted to make that sound as horrible as possible without going into too many details, because I'm just an all-around horrible person. Now you can tell that the first floor isn't underground because you see boarded up windows with light coming through them, and when you go to the second floor, you see the exit. Now, am I the only one who is confused about having the entrance to a house on the top floor? But then again, this is a Flash game. You can't let little things like the architectural design of a house bother you too much. The entrance is on the top floor, what the fuck? Especially on a game like Free Ice Cream, where it doesn't really take itself too seriously. So you walk over to the exit and then... an epic boss fight begins where you have to battle against a giant strong murderer using your brain. That's right, you. Take the elevator back upstairs and leave. At the end, you walk out of the exit to your freedom. Overall, this game was great. I highly recommend it. It gets pretty intense with the killer following you, and I really like its style and how it can get pretty silly at times, even though it is still a pretty dark game. And now for a third and final Flash game, which I think is the scariest one I've played, House. House is a game that has you going through a creepy abandoned house. You explore 5 rooms by clicking on certain objects that help you advance, and let you see really creepy things. For example, you click on the picture twice, and it cracks. Then, you look at the ball and it explodes. And then... oh, Jesus! As you advance, you begin to learn more and more about the family that used to live there, like how the mother was very sick, and the things that the father did. Now, this game might seem a little tedious, seeing how it really is just clicking about 3 objects on screen over and over again until something happens. And although I do love this game, I will admit, it does get pretty tedious at times when you're not sure what to do. But even though the game is pretty simple and can get tedious at times, these problems aren't nearly big enough to destroy the really creepy experience of this game. Although I would like to talk more about this game, House is more something that you really have to play for yourself. And also, if I went on, I feel like I would spoil some of the many great scares the game has to offer. So those are some horror Flash games. Overall, some of them can be pretty damn cool, and others suck and seem like a complete joke. I think the horror genre of Flash games is a good refutation when someone says that casual games like iOS games will soon replace other portable systems, and soon enough maybe even console games. These horror Flash games may be pretty fun, and many people may play them, but this is only because of how much easier they are to get. They're cheaper, or they're completely free. But still, although console horror games might cost much more, they still give you a much better and whole experience than a Flash game or an iOS game ever could. Wow, I felt really preachy saying that, and it was probably really obvious that I was reading that off the screen too. Anyways, I'm the Creepy Gamer, and I like horror games.